Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene became unhinged when she was challenged over guns. Now, during an exchange that went viral, Santiago Meyer, the executive director of the Gen Z led Voters of Tomorrow organization, confronted Greene about her opposition to anything that would help increase the levels of gun safety in this country, and stop allowing students as well as people that are shopping in a random grocery store, prevent them from being gunned down. Here's what happened. Here's part of that exchange.
You're a coward is what you
How
are.
am I a coward? You're the one running away. You're the one running away.
No, gun rights protect people. That stops people from...
Oh yeah, what does gun rights do for all the kids who keep getting shots in school? How am I a coward? Representative Greene, please. Am I scared of guns?
You're scared of legal gun owners that want to protect their kids in school. Shame on you.
How? Shame on me?
Yeah, go move to another country where they take away your guns.
Yes, if you don't like getting murdered in your own school, why don't you just leave the country? Just pick up and go. Yes, look, that is the typical, of course, chud response when you try to point out not just the gun issue, but pretty much any issue in this country. We're like, you either like it the way it is or you leave. You're not allowed to change anything because I will be mildly inconvenienced. Oh, you want to talk about being mildly inconvenienced? What about being shot? That sounds like a little bit more than an inconvenience, especially, of course, if it's your kids that end up getting shot. And by the way, talking about Uvalde, for example, which is one of the more, I guess, well-known but not most recent examples, of course, because there's a mass shooting almost every day in this country. Not being able to identify your child because their face was blown off by an AR-15 round. Unrecognizable. So yeah, that's a little bit more of the minor inconvenience here. A little bit more than that, all right? But look, understand that their perspective is one of involving a massive amount of entitlement. Again, you have people who just, have suffered through mass shootings, who have been injured, or have lost family members, or watched their friends literally die right in front of them. But here's Marjorie Greene, a member of Congress, saying, go pound sand. I don't care about you. All I care about is my hobby. I just want to keep my hobby. So why don't you leave and you do something else? Go somewhere else. No. I don't agree with that. But that said, before we get into that a little bit more, it gets worse because Marjorie Greene went even more Karen.
The Second Amendment, how does the Second Amendment prevent gun violence?
You're the one that believes that insurrection,
step out of the way. You're blocking a member of Congress.
Excuse me, ma'am.
You're blocking a member of Congress. You need to stay away.
Members of Congress.
You can't block members of Congress. You literally cannot do that. It's against
I was in Boulder during the Colorado shooting at the supermarket, where 10 people were murdered down the street.
You know what? I support people to protect themselves with their guns, okay?
Why did you say to the children that he's getting shot?
Murder is illegal. Murder is illegal.
No,
you know what?
Shouldn't Americans have the right to go to the grocery store
Americans
without
should have the right to protect themselves.
Murdered?
Americans should have the right to protect themselves. Gun-free zones is where people die.
Okay, so look, obviously, earlier in that video, you saw a congresswoman pretty much stepping on the girl in the blue dress, possibly even kicking her from behind to try to get her to get out of the way. Get out of my way, lib. How dare you impede a congresswoman? Please, get out of here. Oh, was she not walking fast enough for you? Why would you want to walk so fast away from people that are just asking you questions? Gee, I wonder why you wanted to get the hell out of there as fast as possible. How dare they call her out on her stance? And again, throughout the whole thing, she's telling people, leave the country if you don't like it. She also cites a misinterpreted report claiming that gun-free zones, those are the things that kill people. Really? Gun-free zones kill people, not the guns? Weird. weird. I've never seen a gun-free zone shoot someone and again make them completely unrecognizable, their corpse. Never seen that happen. Oh, but no, it's the gun-free zones that are the real problem. No, in reality, of course, the thing that she cites is from economist John R. Lott's Crime Prevention Research Center. And you've been hearing this, and she said that 98.4% of mass shootings happened in gun-free zones. So that's why gun-free zones kill people. Actually, no, that's not the reality. And so there's a lot of issues with that talking point. For one, again, mass shootings are not the most prevalent type of gun violence. There is, in fact, no shared definition of what a mass shooting is. But the real issue is just gun violence overall. In 2020, for example, 54% of all gun-related deaths in the United States were suicides, numbering 24,292 deaths. 43% were murders, 19,384. Of the 43% of murders, 79% of them were done with guns. And there seems to be an issue with gun violence in this country. Again, a lot of murders, but even more suicides that might not have happened had they not had access to a gun. Saving lives, right? But look, let's go into what's more poorly defined than just what is a mass shooting, because again, there is no statistically agreed upon definition of what a mass shooting is. And so, along with that, is you have a very poorly defined definition of what a gun-free zone is. So now Lott, in his study, first basically came up with his own definition of what a mass shooting is. He counted every single incident where one person had died as a mass shooting. Okay, so again, that seems pretty broad, but even more broad is what he defines as a gun-free zone. Here's an example. Lott said that places where only military or police policy are classified, places where it is illegal to carry a permitted concealed handgun, places that are posted as not allowing a permitted concealed handgun, places where general citizens are not allowed to obtain permits, or where permits are either not issued to any general citizens or to a very tiny selective segment. So then, by definition, for example, the White House, where there are literal snipers on the roof, that is considered a gun-free zone. Military bases, considered to be gun-free zones. Places where there are lots of guns just happen to be considered gun-free zones. Weird how that works. That data set, obviously, is so incredibly broad that you have places like, for example, the Fort Hood shooting and the Washington Navy Yard shooting. He defined those as being gun-free zones. Again, places where there are literally guns everywhere, gun-free zones. Places where there are police officers, gun-free zones. So to claim that, again, 98% of all mass shootings happen in literal gun-free zones is not at all accurate, because, again, there's no shared definition of both these. So basically, you can just spin it whatever the hell you want. And in this case, they're spinning it as, see, gun-free zones. They kill people. They kill people. No, you know what kills people? Guns. That's what kills people. Okay? People in possession of weapons use those guns to kill other people. That's what happens. But again, you have Marjorie Greene and the rest of the right-wing media who take that report and they spin it. And the reason they do so is so that, for one, Marjorie Greene doesn't have to give up her hobby of shooting weapons. And also, most importantly, doesn't have to give up her money. She gets paid by gun manufacturers, a lot of them do, groups like the NRA, and they just let the gun manufacturers do whatever they want, sell as many guns as they want, and give guns to as many people as they want. Because again, when you have so many guns, it creates more fear, because everybody has guns, there's more shootings, there's more fear, then they sell more guns. And so for this, again, more mass shootings, They like it when there's more mass shootings or just more normal shootings, because then that justifies the existence of their own rhetoric. So this is a self-perpetuating cycle of endless violence and death. And it's ironic coming from people who claim to be pro-life. No, she's not pro-life. She doesn't care about protecting people, doesn't care about protecting Americans. She, again, just cares about herself, her own power, and money.